Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is Brian. Hi. Hi. Hey, you good? Uh, I'm just testing out a few things, but apparently my GoPro is working. So there you go. You can see everything that I'm working on right now. I have a new light and everything. I have a new office. For those of you who are regular followers of me on here, this is the San Diego experiment, if you will. This is the San Diego um, streams. My house in San Diego, we moved in permanently last Saturday morning, about 8:30 a.m. We got here from Seattle. It's a bit echoey, so I apologize. If there's any echo, please let me know because I'd love to understand, because I am almost certain that I'm going to have to add some things on the wall. And of course, I'm still kind of my first day back at work as well, so. It's just been a week and a half since I talked. Stressful. It was a stressful week and a half for me. I'd taken off the week before, and to be honest, that was actually needed because I cannot have imagined trying to move at the same time I was trying to work. Stressful week and a half. Training. What training? All right. Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm one of the reasons I got this Carioid mic that you can see now. Was to hey, fix it. Appreciate you coming in. I'd also like to say Dr. Hogue, Drohoug. Thank you for following 8 days ago. Very nice, very cool. One of my friends is not a web application person and doing pen tester lab training to skill up on some things he needs for his job. So let me know if you need any help. I have a bit of experience with web app stuff. There we go. Maybe not writing it, but so anyway, the Carioid mic back in my old place because I was watching some Rust talks and then saw you're on, and good for my mental health. Thank you, Beta Wolf. Appreciate you. Yeah, the week that I took off, it would have been, it was stressful enough, and having to work at the same time as I was trying to deal with all the bullshit of getting the move done and hoping my fur babies got here was good. So first day back at work. Yes. SQLI is cool, is good stuff. Yeah. You should see if the office will buy you a try Hack Me or Hack the Box sub. Anyway, I can't tell if the fact that I'm at the dog park or it's on your end, but you keep buffering. Oh, crap. Really? Am I buffering that badly? Mr. Fix It 42. Am I buffering at all? I'm 60 frames a second, 1.6 milliseconds, 26 frames missed due to rendering lag. That's actually pretty good on this laptop, considering I don't have my like main deal here. So let me cut the preview. There we go. That drops it to 1.1 milliseconds per rendering frame at 1080p, so or 0.9 milliseconds. Okay, one millisecond per frame. That's not bad. Yeah. So okay. Oh, not top-notch video, but totally okay. Top-notch video. I can't do 4K here. Is it really that bad as my... It's probably the lighting. I won't lie to you. I'm working on the lighting thing. But if I don't have the new light thing, it's kind of janky. As I showed earlier, you know, the where's my yeah, so my new desk, which is massive, can rotate on its 4 wheels, and that is the big ass window that I have that I've actually had to shut because the Sound of Freedom comes out about every 20 to 25 minutes. That would be the Ospreys and the planes leaving out of MCS Miramar down here in San Diego. So, but yeah, I can subtly move my desk. Here's my office. Literally nothing on the walls because I don't have my pack out yet. I put a couple of air tags in my pod that we're shipping down here, and I'm actually getting. Let me see, where is it located right now? Right now, it is at a truck stop in Tulare, California. So, yeah, the AirPods or the AirTags are working quite well. Unfortunately, my Tesla is not. I thought that I would be able to, you know, track my car as I was driving, as it was being like transported down here to San Diego. And oh, that's very cool. The problem with the Tesla GPS is it only appears to work when the car is actually running or in gear or something. Because if I pull it up in my app right now, it still shows that I'm in, it's in Seattle. But I have turned on the Life Sentry and activated the cameras around the car, which actually set off the alarm at the same time. But my car is definitely on the semi driving down the interstate. So I don't know. Somebody said I should have put an AirTag in the car, but I was like, oh, I didn't think I needed to. So wait, is it me or is it Berber? Well, Beta Wolf, I do not know if it is you or if it is me. So you're on a cell phone, so you know you could always downgrade me to like 720p. I think I'm streaming at 1080p, so you know it could be that. But yeah, so yeah, we're just here having some ha-has, and you know, so you know my webcam is working. This is my desk is probably too big for what I needed it for. This is a 36-inch by 72. Oh, and Copilot is here. I actually mailed my plant, the one that was in my office, to San Diego in a box. The UPS guy probably hates me because it was full of dirt because I had. Okay, cool. I did not secure the root ball, which still had some potting soil in it. And by the time it had gotten here, the box that said fragile on it was just beat to fuck. And my plant, oh, okay. So that may be it. I'm streaming at 1080, you know. You can go back and check the other streams, Fix It, on YouTube. So that actually brings me to my other bit that I'm going to have to figure something out very soon because I'm actually streaming this on YouTube and Twitch. Well, of course, it got better at 480p. It's like, what, 4x less bandwidth, you know? So, I found out that Twitch, according to one of the Gaming Careers email list that I'm on, Twitch is making it not illegal, but apparently I'm violating terms of service by just simul streaming to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Even if I'm not monetizing this or not, you know, if I'm monetizing it or not monetizing it, it doesn't matter. They want, if you're on Twitch, you're on Twitch, and which kind of sucks. So, trying to figure out. I don't know. Well, to be honest, Beta Wolf, if I get the Banhammer, it's not going to be much of a huge issue. I mean, it's not like I have 100,000 followers. It's probably one of those things that, like, if I had like a huge following, then yeah, probably could have the Banhammer on me. But right now, I'm just kind of playing the rebel here. So, wait a minute. Okay, cool. And I've melted my credit card buying stuff from Amazon. It's amazing. Where I lived in Seattle or San Diego, Seattle, outside of about 30, 45 minutes outside of Seattle. I was lucky to get things in 1 to 2 days. Here in San Diego, I live in San Diego. I can get stuff like within 3 hours. Truly, we live in modern times. Which really sucks because it's like, oh, my wife, I was supposed to buy her a connector for her display port to USB-C for her docking station, and I didn't do that. And I was like, don't worry, it'll be here in like 3 hours. And so I ordered it, and boom, it was like here within 3 hours. And I was like, oh, mind blown. Yeah, exactly. Fix it. I've heard that several of the more established Twitch streamers have jumped ship. I think somebody named QOC, something like that, went over to this Kick or whatever. Went over to this Kick. It's a Twitch killer, basically. An exclusivity clause of like $100 million for this person to stream exclusive content on Kick. So whoever owns Kick it's got some deep pockets. It's got some deep pockets. But yeah. And if it happens, it happens. YouTube doesn't have those requirements or anything like that. And arguably it will make my streaming a lot shorter. If anybody, let me go grab the YouTube channel just in case if I ever get disconnected. Ooh, man, my laptop is hot. Jesus. The only issue I've got with my office is, so you can't see this, but this is only about 7 feet up. I mean, if I stick my hand up in the air while this is spinning, I would hit myself. So, but yeah, so far we're doing okay. It's a bit echoey. My house is super open, unlike the last. The last place was a little less open, a lot more walls. So even we've got the big TV downstairs. I'm actually up on the second floor now, and so it's a bit echoey. So that's why putting things on the walls, some sound stuff. I've got some lighting that I'm going to have brought in. Some stuff I'm going to try to set up. I may have a bookshelf because I'm going to have some books and things. So, but yeah, I've got nothing in my office right now except this. So, no one with morals would go there gambling. That's a possibility. Let me grab the Twitch account, BDS podcast. Library. So how's everybody been doing? I've been out for a couple days. My hair's long enough that it probably needs to be cut. Your videos. Come on, man. That's not what I wanted. Checked out a gym. Thought might want to get back to a gym or something. My videos. Library. Where is the settings? I have a vanity settings. Here it is. Okay. So advanced settings. No, that's not it. YouTube Premium. I already have YouTube Premium. So channel status, features. There we go. Agreements, community, nope. Permissions, nope. Defaults, nope. Advanced settings, feature eligibility. I want to say it was, let's see, youtube.com/c/BDS podcast. Yep, that's it. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right. I think I'm going to turn off Slack and I'm going to turn off some things because this is an uncomfortably warm laptop right now. Let me see what's my temperatures at. I'm sitting at 65 C on the GPU, which is about 135 degrees. Yeah, that's a nice warm CPU. That'll keep our GPU. That'll keep it warm over the years. So yeah, go and check that out. That's our podcast channel on YouTube, the one I'm simulcasting on. So, oh man, I screwed that up. Okay, so Rust news, more stuff. Yeah, okay. So turn that off. So our cars are supposed to be here today, even though it swears that they, and yeah, okay. Yep. And no. Just checked it. So what are you usually streaming? So Fixit 42, I've been doing Tuesdays kind of news and security stuff, kind of some leadership topics and things. I actually haven't, on Fridays is supposed to be our Rust. I'm learning Rust. We learned Golang. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you searched for InfoSec. Yeah, we're doing some InfoSec stuff. If you have any questions, we are more than willing to entertain your InfoSec questions. I wouldn't consider myself overly technical anymore because there's a lot in InfoSec that changes. So I would say probably if we have any super technical stuff, like if you wanted to talk about shell code and stuff, I could probably get you in contact with somebody. But so far, as a technical program manager for my company, I don't pop shells anymore. I don't run the Kali Linux. I don't do that stuff. But we can definitely get you involved or get you in contact with people who can do this. And if it's just a question, I can usually Google it and find the answer as well. I'm pretty good at Google dorking. So, but yeah. What's your interest in InfoSec? What do you do? What do you do for a living there? Fixit. My desk is also adjustable. So I worked in it for a long time and do programming, but new to InfoSec. Yeah, I'm in the opposite direction. I've been in InfoSec for about 20 years and I'm now doing programming. So I'm fairly upfront with people when I interview with them at security jobs, like this job I'm at currently. I was like, I don't write code. You don't want me writing code, but I do understand if you're in security in this day and age, you kind of almost need to know some sort of programming language. That's been my general consensus. So it's good that I jumped ship to more management to manage the talent, if you will, than what I was planning on doing in my career. So. But yeah, I would say definitely need to have some sort of programming language, whether it be Go or Python. Python's usually the go-to. I've been home a lot with kids with special needs, so a bit off trying to get a remote job now. Well, I appreciate that. Fixit. For some people, I've been told the job market's a little rough. For others, they can't stop jobs from being thrown at them. So let's continue down this rabbit hole a little bit. Fixit. What do you want to do? What's your ideal job? What do you want to do? Do you want to be a SRE? Do you want to be a developer? Do you want to continue doing security? Do you want to do pen testing? The one. Marketing and electronics. Oh, very cool. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I need to work on my marketing. So yeah, the streams normally happen on Tuesdays and Fridays. This Friday, I'm actually working on an interview with a friend of mine. Friendly ping. Before I go any further, to mention our potential interview. Are you okay with? Are you okay with? Okay. Are you okay with 3:30 p.m. on Friday? What is? See, be the 30th, the first. Oh, the Friday the 30th. Excuse me. Friday the 30th. Okay. Friend of mine who gives a lot of thinking, more pen tester and red team. Yeah. So fix it. What experience do you have in pen testing, and what experience do you have in red teaming and pen testing? Because my point is here, people come from all walks, and I'm not going to say you need to go through and be a blue teamer or a system admin or something. Okay. All right. So we're just learning. All right. So you have a programming knowledge. What languages do you know for programming? Is it Python, Go, Ruby, Rust? Been an admin since 96. Okay. I've been an admin since 97. Yeah. Okay. Prior military at all? Any military or government service? Anything like that? Probably would help. I don't know how the preview came back up, but there we go. Not the most modern ones. Okay. I've been learning since 21. What? Hello, Senor Goomba. Welcome. Yeah. Oh, I apologize if I made any assumptions or unconsciously made assumptions. Wow, Sweden. Okay, so it's late for you. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Yeah, remote jobs in Sweden would be pretty awesome. Let me see. Yeah, we do one of the. So I apologize. That's the military. One of the things that I would suggest is our Discord and our Slack that we have do resume review. If you've got any particular jobs, so let me go and poke around. Let me see, LinkedIn.com and small camera, big browser. There we go. Okay, so there I am. Jobs, red team. All right, so we have. Let's see, position jobs. There we go. And so there's all kinds of red team type jobs. You could either be somebody who emulates attackers or adversaries. You can be somebody who customer service rep. Right on. Okay. Well, you got to start somewhere, Senior Goomba. And customer service rep is that like a help desk function where you're, IT, or is that a security type job? Fix it. Oh, you're not ready for that. Okay. Well, if you're looking for a remote job, what kind of job are you looking for in this case? Are you looking for like a way to get into doing red teaming? Because there's a lot of ways of doing that. There's, Some people, think it's cool to come up through administration, like IT, like you did. I came in vulnerability management. We do resume reviews from time to time. Our Slack channel has a resume review career track kind of thing where it's like you can go in and ask questions. Ideally, what we do is we ask you to upload it someplace semi-public, like a Google Drive or something, and redact your information. Your name, address, phone number, email, etc., and just put your system down there. I can give you all an invite to this. Both of our Slack and our Discord have code of conduct, which we enforce. Let me get a link for that. Okay, here's a Slack invite. Doink. My computer is so freaking warm right now. I'm almost afraid that it's going to shut down. We'll see. And then, of course, you can join our Discord right there. And we do have a career track in both of those. And ideally, you'll upload your resume to, like I said, a semi-public site or like a Google Drive or something redacted, just to protect privacy and what have you. And then the idea is you can get some feedback from people if you have any questions or comments or concerns. Roberto, hello, welcome. Yes, exactly. Fix it. If the stream dies, that's because my computer has crapped itself. It has a discrete graphics card in it, but it was never meant, I think, to be ran for this. So, hey, Senior Goomba. Yeah, I'd ask you to read and follow our social contract that we have there in Slack. We do enforce it, and we don't give a lot of warning. So you don't get a second chance. You get a first chance, and we'll ban you. So, having had only to ban 2 people since 2017, I think we're doing pretty good. So, we expect people to act professional and police themselves. So, cool. Yeah, there's a lot of discords out there. Being in too many discords seems to be the new hotness these days. And so, there's a lot of ways you can get into Red Team. There's CTFs you can do. You can, talk about administration because you're in administration, fix it, or you've done administration. So, provisioning users, setting roles, permissions on things. Those are all security related items. We just don't consider them that way. If you've done any Hack the Box or Try Hack Me or any of those pen tester labs or something like that, you can add those. Like if you have a rank, for instance, like if you've done Hack the Box and you're in the top 10% of users on Hack the Box, that's pretty good, right? If you've been to a local event, you've got scripting, exactly. WSH, GPOs, installations, exactly. Those are all security controls, right? Especially GPOs. Try Hack Me, yeah, it's a good thing. We actually did some of that here on the stream as well earlier. I ran into issues because I'd like to be more collaborative on those, where it's like somebody is working alongside with me on those. It just felt like I was just doing them, and I wasn't getting any real benefit from those, which is why I started doing the Rust stuff, for instance. So let's GRC. Don't underestimate GRC. It sounds boring, but it is security. And a lot of people will disagree with me on that, but I will respectfully tell them they don't know what they're talking about. You're implementing security based on a type of guidelines. So, compliance positions. Here's a compliance engineer, for instance. You're going to be, these are North American based. Slack rules seem self-explanatory and fair. Good. Thank you, Senior Goomba. I appreciate that. We did try to make that as nice as possible. But so you're going to use this one. Wow, this one's pretty good. critical infrastructure protection. Wow, okay. North American Electric Reliability Corporation, or NERC. Okay, so let me see. Compliance analyst. Let's find something else like PCI. Let's try PCI. Information security manager, security program manager. Here we go. So a lot of these jobs, you need to have access to ISO standards, or you need to understand implementation of those, or things like HIPAA for in the US, that's health standards, health informatics standards. SOC for data handling compliance, or PCI for credit cards. If Sweden has specific data governance guidelines, understanding those. This will get you in the door. You don't, if you want to start with red team, I would say start with like a GRC type position. And the reason I say that, it's one way, it's not the only way. SOC analyst. Okay, that's good, Senior Goomba. That's pretty good too. There's several out there for SOC analysts. Well, you can always, in the spirit of quiet quitting, or whatever they call it, there's always side gigs or things that you can do on the side to help yourself. If you want to do CTFs, to build up your skills, try Hackme is definitely a way of doing that. There's a number of different, let me see, SOC analyst. There we go. So, here's a SOC analyst, security capability team lead. This is Booz Allen, so that's in the U.S. It's probably going to require security clearance because Booz Allen's a big government contractor. Here's a bank. So there you go. You can, I have 5 connections who work at U.S. Bank. So 5 days, and the problem is a SOC analyst sometimes is on site. So you're going to, you have to look at that if that's something you want to do. But I mean, it really depends on, your, as an IT analyst. So I'm going back to fix it as an IT admin, and those folks hello, Digital Warhead. Yes. Yeah, I'm back on there, Digital. Thanks. Oh, that's cool. All right, fix it. Yeah, so I'm glad you're able to get a code from GAR for that. So, yeah, the compliance, your IT admin stuff is all about understanding the IT controls that were put into place for like PCI, or your data handling and stuff like that. So I mean, you can always do the red teaming stuff on the side, and then move into that if you wanted to do that. But I would say get yourself a resume up. If you are moving towards a red team position, there's always companies that have, they'll either come in and do pen tests, and you can pick your brain about those folks, or you can actually pick your brain in our Slack and or Discord with folks who do red teaming and pen testing. There's also some conferences in InfoSec conferences, Sweden. There we go, infosecconferences.com for the country of Sweden. There you go. So let me see, we have Corinium, Chief Data Analytics Officers. That sounds a little too, Platform Summit, Data Saturday, Stockholm, SASE Summit, Security Fest in May. Oh, wait, so this is, wait a minute, we're going backwards. Oh, I see. Okay, so we have May. Looks like the next one is this Platform Summit one. I'm going to update my LinkedIn a bit, so don't have any experience, so more than my old one. I I think it's in how you frame things, right? Um, you're you're going to do, you want to be a red teamer, but you're going to have to show, how to, how you want to get there. So let's see, red team. So let me see, where is this? Senior security engineer, senior penetration testing engineer. Okay, red team operator. Here we go. TikTok. Depending on how you feel about them, they are looking for a red team operator, which I find ironic. Obviously, I don't know if the adversaries you can emulate would be like Fancy Bear or Impotent Panda or whoever, but would be a little awkward if you said, well, we wanted to emulate Chinese adversaries, considering TikTok's complicated relationship with the so, you're developing scripts, tools, and methodologies. You're going to execute strategy to enhance security posture. You're going to effectively communicate findings. See, a lot of red teaming isn't, yes, some of it's popping shells, some of it's lateral movement. They conduct advanced adversary emulation operations to challenge assumptions and emulate cyber and criminal threat actors. I would say a big majority of what you'll be doing, like with pen testing or red teaming, if you don't already know this, apologies. And if you do know this, apologies for over explaining this, would be being able to deliver verbal and written reports and presentations to a technical and executive audience. I would say they have buried the lead here on some of this, especially these areas here, effectively communicating findings and strategy. Technical staff, executive leadership, and legal counsel able to deliver verbal and written reports and presentations to both technical and executive audiences. Senior Goomba, Fixit, just like Fixit said, it's not all action, and all of InfoSec has a lot of reporting. You can spend 2 weeks working on a pen test, and if you can't explain why cross-site scripting is a bad thing or why RCE is a bad thing to both the technical people and to your boss, you might as well just for TikTok you might red team as the USA. I'm sure the NSA is doing something. Sure, you could also do bears, or you could also do e-crime, or you could do, some kind of adversary emulation. Hey, Walt, how you doing? It's good seeing you again. But yeah, so, add pragmatic recommendations. This is the other thing. Risk appropriate and pragmatic recommendations to correct identified flaws, vulnerabilities, and miscorrections or misconfigurations. This one, so... How many people have we seen online or you follow on Twitter and it's like, oh, just uninstall Java. It's like, that sounds great and it would probably solve the problem. No more vulnerabilities, right? You wouldn't have a vulnerability in Java. Just uninstall this thing. And it's like, okay, that's great. The users still have to do something, right? So you can't do this with bug bounties. Oh, hey, Lady P. Wow. Okay, I've got people. You can't do this with bug bounties. Actually, Senior Goomba, with regards to risk appropriate and pragmatic recommendations, all of the stuff that I've mentioned here, every bug bounty has a report. You have to do a write-up. So as somebody who is working on bug bounty programs right now, being able to effectively communicate those findings and the impact directly affects how much you get paid. You kinda, Senior Goomba, isn't like it's the same as a bug bounty. I would say the only difference here is, which is why you should be using for the write-ups for you. Hold that thought. we're getting a hang of the stairs. So I actually did that too. Our stairs are way different than they used to be. No, it wasn't Scream or Hurl. No, Lady P. I think GPT or Chat GPT or GPT-4 is a great things explainer if at all possible. But yeah, I would say HackerOne's bug bounty program is a good place to start. Right, you're absolutely right. Digital, yeah. My daughter actually slipped down the stairs. I think she had socks on her feet and she missed a step or something. So we're still learning the ins and outs and how to navigate our house and all that. I actually slipped and I wasn't wearing socks the other day. But I would say, you can you can register at a bug bounty program for like HackerOne or what's the other one? BugCrowd. Those are the two big ones, and you can definitely work on award-winning book Lady P, maybe Beta Wolf, but you can register as a bug bounty person, and there's several open bounties that are out there that are available that you can work through, and well, you can learn by doing there. Fix it. The worst thing could happen is somebody will find something already, or you'll find something that somebody else has already found, which is actually good because you can confirm, it was a bug enough that, it was worth finding. Can help you with your bug reports. But, it is a bit time consuming. So the one thing I would say and I've mentioned this before, but there's bug bounty podcasts. Critical thinking, yes, that's it right here, isn't it? Yeah, this one here, Rhino Raider and TechnoGeek. They talk about a lot of stuff. It's a fairly good podcast. I've listened to a couple episodes because what they do is cromulent to my current deeds. So they talk about things like being able to automate things, automate tools, get to know. Digital Warhead. Yes, it's a good podcast. So they talk about things that work for them, and I think both of them are $1 million hacker bug bounty hunters. They've found so many bugs that they've actually earned $1 million. And so they are, most pen test companies I feel are, they're just pumping out the reports. It doesn't matter how boutique they are. And we'll probably talk about that if my Friday interview wants to come and do that. Okay. But yeah, so you have stuff that you're going to find, you're going to put it into a report, and nothing's going to get done. Kind of the same thing with the bug bounty stuff. You're going to find a bug, you're going to find a cross-site scripting, you're going to find a logic flaw or something. Sorry. Yes, this is Apple Podcasts. If you don't have Apple Podcasts, let me see. They have a site. No, it's not what I wanted. Damn it. Why do you hate me? Let me see. Do they have a website? No, I don't want to open it with iTunes. Jackals. So they get 5 out of 5 reviews, 26 reviews. So Critical Thinking Podcast. Damn your hides. There we go. Here's the RSS feed for it in case you don't use Apple stuff. There you go. But yeah, they talk about like embracing automation, automating all the things away. Daniel Meisler's on, so that's pretty cool. Shortcuts, command line tools. They have a lot of tools on their podcasts about different things that they use to automate or to test with. Because for them, it's like they have to work smarter So if there's tools that they need, like here's a Python search function tool, something called Simbex. Ooga Booga is a web interface for models. There's a ton of stuff that they put in their docs here. Let me see. What was the one I was reading or listening to? Was it hardware hacking? No, that's not it. So, mental tools. They also talk about the difficulty of, you may have spent 10 hours on this just to find out that it's not really there. So like here's some sequence diagramming software, being able to walk through these things as you're going along. So, okay, there you go, fix it. Yeah, I haven't found a lot of bug bounty podcasts that talk about bug bounty stuff, because this is like secret sauce kind of stuff. These folks are like teaching you what they're doing, and so it's kind of interesting to understand that. So, what's this? What's this digital warhead? Let me see. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's a free class for web security. And then they have a 24/7 capture the flag. If you finish that, you can add that to your resume. Hey, I've completed the HackerOne capture the flag, or I'm ranked 500 out of 3.5 million on Bugcrowd or something like that. So they regularly host puzzles and CTF challenges on HackerOne. A Udemy course, yeah, there you go. That's another one. Yeah, for bug bounties, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I was talking about GRC stuff, but there's bug bounties. You can definitely build up and work. The good thing about bug bounties is for yourself, fix it. If you're working and having to care for family members, you have to be super flexible, right? And so building your skills when you can, and when you have time to be able to do so, or you can set aside a couple hours to work on something like a CTF or whatever, really gives you some power and gives you some control over how you're wanting to do something. Because if you're in a typical engagement, it's a 2-week engagement. Companies paid your company, if you had a job at a pen testing company, X number of dollars to do it in such and such time. This is a good way of building reputation for bug bounties. Yes, Over the Wire is very good. If you like PowerShell stuff, Under the Wire is actually pretty good too. Underthewire.tech is the yeah. Oh, so that's the write-up for Under the Wire. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Oh no, Under the Wire. Oh, come on, man. Don't tell me that's gone. There we go. PowerShell training. So, if you want to understand PowerShell scripting, if you don't already have that, go check that out too. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff out there. Yeah, it's easy to get overwhelmed with all the training stuff, the free stuff that's out there. But if you've never done PowerShell, it's very powerful, and they have war games for PowerShell as well that you can use. I haven't gone through any. I've gone through, I think, Sentry, like the first ones. Yeah, I've tried to go through these. I was less than successful. Let's put it that way. Cyber Mentor, yeah, has great courses for cheap, and their courses are on sale regularly. Yeah. Yeah, detonating live malware. Yeah. I was actually working with somebody to do a malware analysis class here. That kind of fell through. And, would have been fun, I think, if we'd have been able to continue doing it. I mean, if you've got your environment set up, Senior Goomba, you can explode legitimate malware. But you do have to make sure that everything is set up just so. Otherwise, yeah, it could be very bad. There we go. Pentester Lab is excellent stuff. So, oh, there's my mouse. So, oh, it's done. Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's the one thing I would say is if you're starting to look for a job in earnest, like SOC analyst position, like Goomba is looking for, take a look at some of the jobs that are out there, like, SOC analyst, tier 2. Each one of these companies are going to write their own job descriptions, or sometimes they'll copy and paste. Do what you can to try to map as best you can without copying and pasting, like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna, I've got experience with this, so I'm just gonna copy this and paste it in my my resume. Try to have examples for the requirements. Try to show what you've done that's, given value to your organization. Like, I built this automation, or, I worked on 52 incidents last year, or I show some statistics that you can say, well, I worked on 25 of these things, or I've done, I analyzed logs of, 15,000 servers using Splunk or something like that. Do get intimidated with how many people apply. Oh yeah. Sometimes I wonder if those are inflated numbers. And yeah, I get that too. It's like, see how you don't do this shit. This is not good. Don't get premium free just to see how you compare to 87 applicants. That's, I mean, if it's true, okay, great. 87 people have applied to this. It doesn't necessarily mean that, all 87 were actually useful for that. It could be a bot. It could be just some number they put in there randomly to, get people to think, hey, this is a hot job or whatever. I don't put a lot of stock in that. Yeah. So, but I would just say, look at the responsibilities, performing real-time alert monitoring and risk mitigation. Maybe you haven't done real-time alert monitoring. Maybe you set, or maybe you set up detections in your SIM. Maybe you've set up Splunk or something like that. Maybe as an IT person, you've set up Splunk and you've got all your system logs going there because that was part of a large initiative that you've had. So it's like you can brag, hey, I've taken a couple of 100 servers and I've sent the logs to Splunk for analysis, or, I've installed endpoint security stuff and I've looked at detections that have come up. I mean, it's a number of different things that could come from that. Lady B. That's funny. I get requests for admin jobs, but they're on site. So I hope that if I update a bit, better to make people want you. Right, exactly. Fix it. And, if it's a lot of cloud-based stuff, I don't understand the need to be in the office. Sometimes that's just, yeah, I mean, it does limit you if you have to be remote. You're not wanting to move from whatever town in Sweden you're in to another town. But yeah, I mean, most of these are US based. Let me see if they have any in Sweden. This is SOC analyst stuff, but Sweden. I guess it would make sense you want to work up to that, but information security specialist. Here's one in the Stockholm region. It says hybrid on site. Yeah, it's kind of garbage, isn't it? A lot of them hybrid. I don't know what hybrid means. If it's like 3 days a week, or let me see if they've got something down here. I get hit up to 10x a day to take executive admin job. Executive admins, Lady P? Oh, that's gotta hurt. Because I have executive in my resume. Apparently recruiters don't know the difference between executive and an executive admin. Whew. Ouch. Or, they're pinging off maybe your name and executive, and there may be some, passive aggressive sexism kind of stuff there. I don't know, but that's not good. That's not good. It sucks that I actually got hit up as a nurse one time because I worked. I think I had healthcare in my resume at one time, so it was like, oh, a nurse, and it was like, oh, cool, and I was like, well, nurse for what? And they're like, no, literally like working in a hospital, changing bedpans nurse, and I was like, Jesus. But yeah, so okay, so you live 20 minutes. Oh, 20 minutes to Stockholm. Okay, so yeah, there's a few jobs here. But yeah, so I mean, ethical hacker, experienced ethical hacker. This is interesting. Initial penetration testing of customers' web applications. Yeah, a lot of the bug bounty stuff, especially like what Digital Warhead was talking about. You're testing web applications, so being in a bug bounty type program can give you some insights into how to test web applications. Following a specific methodology or framework or what have you. It gives you the ability to work through that. Passionate for technology and security, relevant university or applied sciences degree. Just to be clear, no offense to the executive admins out there, I can never do their job, which is why I hire. Yeah, one thing I have learned is to never hit up an executive directly. You hit up their admin because they run the calendar, they run the email. If you're emailing somebody, especially who might be a VP or whatever, and they're not replying to you, hit up the EA and ask them if you could put that email in front of them. Because as I have been told by one or more people at the company I work at, I have a list of things that I give said VP every day. And if that's not on that list, they don't see it. So sometimes reaching out to those folks is good. Senior Goomba, I love those recruiters. Like, oh, you have an interest in cybersecurity. Here's a lead pen test job you'll love. Yeah. Got any tips for search terms when searching for jobs? I guess it's going to depend on what kind of job you want, right? Like Senior Goomba wants a SOC analyst position or is looking for a SOC analyst position. Those are pretty well-defined terms. We've already looked at red teaming jobs, and there were several, in the U.S. at least. It looks like there could be more here in the I don't know who PostNord is. Oh, logistics services. Okay. So the CISO of PostNord is information security officers and specialists. Oh, it's the post office. Oh, well, there you go. Wow, the post office needs red teamers. Okay, that's pretty sweet. Because even the red teaming folks need experience. Wow, so they even use NIST guidelines. That's interesting. Familiarity with standards for information like these. So maybe not necessarily those, but yeah, that's pretty good. The ISO stuff is huge. Like a lot of requirements or what have you. Assist in designing business processes and technical security controls. So there's a little bit of, I would almost call it security architecture. That might be something you could look at too. Security architect. Stockholm. So there's, security architects, and this is where you would, browser crashed the stream for me. So I'm at an ad. They have security architects. Here's one for, being able to create and develop principles and strategies for security architecture, design gaps. So some of this is threat modeling. You might, have some threat modeling in there where you're, trying to meld technologies together. Well, we want to build this. We want to design this. This is our floating toilet seat. Well, why do you need this? Why do you need that? Here's some of the risks and threats that you might want to look at. And then ideally, once it's architected and built, then you would go to the red team and they would, bang on a bit for you. What's your thought on fake job postings on LinkedIn and Indeed? I think they're shitty. I actually posted a couple in the job board on Slack just recently, and somebody said, "Oh no, they're just a resume like collector or something like that." And I was like, "Well, that's kind of shitty." Because there are people out there literally looking for jobs, and this company is doing nothing to help with that. So I don't know if I can't imagine LinkedIn can do much about it. Today I depinned an AMD CPU with a heat gun to make it smooth on the bottom, going to round the corners and drill through it, making it a keychain. Okay, very cool. To go back to the fake job stuff, that's hopefully those companies get found out quickly, or the quote unquote companies. I have read that people actually have like HR give them a job and even get an orientation. Whoa. Okay, I've not heard of that, so that's interesting. An Indian dude called me about a VMware job through LinkedIn. Called you? Did you? So fix it. Have you shared your phone number on there, or did they just happen to do enough OSINT on you to figure out what your phone number was from information you have online? Fishing for resumes. Yeah. Nope. It's all there. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know if my phone number's on there. I tend to. I thought I had a picture. What happened to my picture? It's really weird. Could have sworn I had a picture. I don't know why my profile picture's not showing up. Go back over here. Yeah, there I am. I'm pretty. Yeah. Okay, view profile. Yeah, okay, that's me. I'm pretty. Oh, I'm down 53% in post impressions. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. I get those all the time, and I'm skeptical about it. My wife got a job from a recruiter from India. I got a job. I got cold called for a job. I actually thought it wasn't a legit position because I was like, I can't believe this company would actually just call out of the blue. But I don't know about the orientation and all that stuff. That seems a lot, right? Being able to, like, what did the person say? Yeah, gave them a job and even an orientation. Yeah, I'm not. It seems like a lot of work just to get somebody's W-4 information or their credit card or bank account information or something like that. So yeah. So I would say, fix it if you are, you need job help. Folks like, Lady P and myself and Digital Warhead and Walt are available inside the Discord and or Slack. Put it up there and just say, hey, I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for this kind of job. Because I think it's important if you are writing a resume and you want to be, say, a scientist, don't write your resume as if you're looking for a security job, that kind of thing. So if you're looking for a SOC analyst position or a pen tester position, or you're looking to do, threat intelligence or something like that, do some research, look for other threat intelligence jobs. And when you post a resume, say, I'm looking for a job similar to this, and this is, the threat intelligence position or cybersecurity capability team lead, or I'm looking for a GRC job as a PCI person or something like that. Give us some guidelines, give us some guardrails that we can, understand and make sure that we, know what you're looking for, because we can give better advice when we know what you're looking for. So I hope that helps. If you haven't already, look into getting a free VoIP phone number, like through Google Voice. You can put that number on publicly, like on LinkedIn. I don't know if they have Google Voice in Sweden, but you can definitely give that a shot. I got a Google Voice number when I lived in San Diego because I was moving to Austin. And this is a decade ago, but at the time it was still like, oh, you have a 619 number. That means you're not in the area. I was like, well, there's no reason for me to change my phone number because there's no such thing as long distance anymore. So. Yeah, exactly. Lady P, lots of cheap VoIP services that are international. So, yeah. See, all these 512 numbers are all spam. So, because I don't live in Austin anymore, every 512 number I get is obviously spammy. So, I just don't answer the phone anymore. But yeah, so I mean, there's yeah, G Voice. I have a couple of G Voice accounts from old timey days. But yeah, I mean, would love to help you out. I know that there's some folks out there, like a friend of mine. He had told me he had signed, had applied to almost 400 jobs and still no go. Am I just unemployable? Are others having just as hard of a time? I don't know what to tell him. I'm treating the job thing like when my realtor said, we're going to sell our house, right? And, he said, and I'll get back onto my main screen here. He said, if we sell your house, we put it on the market, and we have 10 showings or 10 people who come to the house and nobody puts an offer, at some point you have to say, something's wrong with the house. If you've applied to 400 jobs, now, granted, you applied to 400 jobs, it doesn't necessarily mean somebody's going to look at you. A lot of these are going to get the HR folks are going to automatically kick that out. If you're just throwing a resume out there to a company that you don't have a connection to, sometimes connections are very important. You're just throwing spaghetti up against the wall and hoping it sticks, right? I don't know if 400 jobs is being facetious or legitimately, applied to 400 positions. But at some point you have to go, what's wrong with the resume? Or am I, what is it I need to change, right? Am I asking for too much? Am I, there needs to be a review periodically. And maybe it's, hey, I applied to, 390 jobs that are just completely garbage. And, there are a lot of jobs out there that are out there because they already have internal people lined up to do them. So I don't want to say it's anything wrong with the person that is applying. But if it's 400 legitimate positions, considering, let's say, 25 to 30% are earmarked for internal people, so, they're not really looking for somebody, they're just having to put it up for labor laws, that's still, 325 jobs that he's applied to? I've applied to the same job about 10 times already. Hey, Senior Goomba, the definition of insanity is, no, I'm just kidding. Sometimes a company will advertise the job and a recruiter will also advertise the same job. I've seen that too. I've actually seen a recruiter who advertised a job and another recruiter who advertised the same job, and I applied to both of them. And I actually talked with both of them. And then when I said, oh, yeah, I was already talking to this one recruiter about this job. And the recruiter I was talking to got real quiet. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, I was already talking with Slappy Consulting Incorporated over here for this same job. And then that person got really quiet and was like, can I call you back? And needless to say, I have not. I did not get hired at either of those jobs. Some companies will do that. Maybe it's by accident or what, but yeah, they'll do that. Yeah. Okay. So the person has replied. I have about 6 different general resumes that encompass different jobs I've been applying to. Oh, okay. Okay. I've actually heard about companies finally saying yes due to the person's persistence. That is a possibility. I have never wasted time after I've been given the initial no, so I would not have any frame of reference there to fix it. But if it works, you know what? You do you. The other thing I would say is, and I think Beta Wolf has been here as you know, I told Beta Wolf for one of his positions, because full disclosure, Beta Wolf and I know each other just like Digital Warhead and those in the meat space up in Seattle. And Beta Wolf had a job and he had another offer, and I said, hey, you know, in my opinion, take the one job. If you aren't happy with that job, wait for the second job to come in, because the second job was like a handshake offer. Hey, yeah, we'll be there, but it may take a week or two. Take a job to pay the bills, you know? And, you know, you don't even have to put that job on the next resume if you don't want to. But it's like, if you're given a job, take the fucking job. Even if it may suck, a paycheck is better than no paycheck 100% of the time. And if you know it's not what you wanted, or it's lower pay than what you're wanting or expecting, take the fucking job and continue looking, continue interviewing. You know, and you know, I worked as a government contractor for 4 months, working a help desk position, and I don't put it on my resume because it was forever ago. 4 months is nothing. So I've never put that one in my resume because it was a help desk position, right? But yeah, I haven't put that one on there. I actually haven't put it on there even when I was still looking for another job. But for those folks that, you know, you need to make rent and there's a job available, even if it's a contract position, take the job. It's also easier to get another job when you're already employed versus unemployed. Right. When it's, you know, you're not on a timetable and you're like, oh my God, the rent's in 5 days, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, if you can, you know, have that less stress, you know, there's a lot of stress there. It's like, you know, I need to find a job. I need to find a job. It's been 6 weeks. I can't find a job. I need a job. I need a job. If you have even a shitty job or one that pays, you know, 25% less than what you're hoping or expecting, you know, take a fucking job. You can always, you know, peace out and go to the new job. Or, you know what, maybe you're pleasantly surprised and find out that while this job pays less, it's actually a better job. So, but your mileage may vary. My advice is not always the correct advice. I took the electronics job in part to learn, and in part it's 6 kilometers from home. Yeah, so I need to get back quick. I don't have the marketing one in the CV either. Right. The marketing one may be good from a communications point of view. You know, we talked about some of the, you know, being able to communicate with people. Were you an effective communicator in the marketing job there, Fix It? Because you could always say, you know, I have good communication skills. I'm able to sell something. I'm able to explain concepts into terms that people can understand. That is very important as a pen tester. As I've mentioned, you know, writing reports, writing, you know, if you did a lot of writing or doing copy print, is it copy print? Print copy. You know, you've written stuff that is supposed to appeal to the masses, or you know, gets people to sell an idea, which is exactly what you need to do. If you've got an RCE and you can't get people to do something with it, you have to sell the idea of fixing that RCE. You know, maybe you, depending on how long you had that marketing job, maybe you'd want to put it in as, hey, I'm a proficient writer. I can, you know, I sold this, or, you know, I'm able to speak to executive people, or I'm able to speak to technical people about, you know, topics like this or something like that. Don't discount marketing. It is obvious that marketing and PR people can run circles around security people. So having that tool set is very important. So anything else we want to talk about? I got on today because it was a one-off. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I didn't have all my stuff. set up. I finally got my microphone stand. It's one of them low profile ones. It's one of them low profile ones from Elgato. I actually have a new mount for my SLR. Our pack out will be here eventually, and then I'll have to do the second purge and the third purge because I've got a lot of stuff that I probably should have not packed. But I want to hear about how you mailed a plan. Yeah, here's my Copilot. Yeah, it made it. I actually deplanted it and put it in a little Ziploc bag, and then put it in a shoebox. And it's got some bent leaves. I won't lie to you. I'm going to have to prune that off. It didn't make that. I sent it UPS, a United Postal Service, and it was like a shoebox, right? I'm good at explaining tech stuff, but I have a YouTube too, and I've had lots of project meetings with execs in my experience. Might still put it in. Exactly. 100%. If you've met with executives, if you can say, I've briefed vice presidents on, bad news, or I've, if I'm able to speak, coherently to VPs and get my point across, you're going to be able to do what 85% probably of what pen testers can't do, which is I can make an executive take action on something. I would say that is probably one of the few things that while people can sit around and pop shells all day, if they can't explain what they're doing or why they're doing it or why it needs to be done, you lose, right? Digital Warhead. Yeah, I left like a piece of it at the old home. I planted some of it in the backyard because it was just too big. It was like sitting this. It was tall, and it wouldn't have fit all in the shoebox. So I figured, 75% of a plant versus 0% of a plant was probably better. So, I've had people give me bad news, some even moderately coherently. Exactly. So there you go. And this is a cat palm, by the way. It was given to me by my previous company during the pandemic, and it's the only plant I've managed to not kill. So, and it's got little shoots. It's got little starts coming off of the sides there. It's got little things. My daughter helped trim it off a little bit. So I think I've got so we'll see what happens. Hopefully it will survive, and I'll have it. Eventually I'll have like a bookshelf or something somewhere. Oh God, it's warm in here. 1 second. We don't have the air conditioning. Oh, wow. That makes a huge difference in the lighting. So there we go. Oh, that made it even worse. Now it looked like, the Phantom of the Opera or something. Oh, the night belongs to Phantom, that kind of thing. But yeah, so there's a lot to be said for soft skills in the InfoSec community. We don't have them, or we lack them. A good number of us lack them. If you can be your own project manager, your own engagement manager, you don't have to worry. If you're a prolific writer, a lot of no problem, fix it. I hope it was helpful. The important thing is, don't give up. That's one thing I got to tell my friend here. Don't give up. It's not a good time to be out of work. And, depending on your skill set, sometimes it might be good to start looking at something like a management position or something that's, something you might want to do. Like, all right, Senior Goomba, have a good one. Thank you. And so, it's scary to retool. But there's definitely, opportunities out there if you want them. You just have to. Sometimes it's just who you know. Building out that network, being able to find somebody if you're a second degree away on LinkedIn or something, management position or something you might want to do. Right. There's if you can swing it, the Harvard Business School classes are not awful, and they do give you the potential to network with other folks all over the world. So I don't think you got that. You might want to look at a management position or at something you might want to do. Oh. Yeah, I think I dorked that up. Well, I mean, Fixit's, been an admin. No one actually wants to be a manager. Yeah, I know. I wasn't looking at I actually, I've only been a PM I moved from being technical to being a manager because I knew that I didn't have the mindset for it. I had too much of an ethical bent. I think I've told the story. I could get a new laptop if I broke my laptop accidentally. I can't knowingly accidentally break my laptop. And yeah, I just don't have the mindset to be a technical person anymore. So I will manage the people who have no problem accidentally dropping their laptops. So yeah, I mean, I guess the difference between a PM and a traditional manager would be like a people manager versus an actual project person. I would actually like to try to be a PM, a people manager, instead of like a project manager in that respect. But I don't know how to get that point. I've talked with my actual manager about that. We'll see where that comes up. Why is there floaty shit in my water? Well, considering I drink that whole glass of water, probably brain worms. There's people management in project management. That's not a direct line, yeah. Digital Warhead, thank you so much for the gift sub to Fixit42. Look at that. Fantastic. No more ads for a month. I thought I'd turn the ads off. God damn it. Okay. I'm going to go. And I'm hoping that my interview will ping me back. And if not, we're going to do Rust on Friday. If we do the interview, it's going to be on Kubernetes. So we're going to do a Kubernetes discussion. For those of you who are longtime podcast members and longtime stream watchers, we've had this person on before talking about Kubernetes, so you should know who that is. They're going to be giving some training at Black Hat, or they have given training at Black Hat in the past. And so they want to come on and talk about, let me see, containers and DEF CON Kubernetes CTF, which is happening this year. And yeah, what people can learn for this year. So not Cuba, not the country Cuba, Kubernetes, or in this case, K8S. So we'll have the discussion with that person. So first, Wolf Conservation Center. Are you directing the flow of traffic to the raid? I believe that's what it is. Raid at Wolf Conservation Center. Okay, well, we'll go and see what Wolf Conservation Center is, and cool. Oh, I see. Guide the raid. Okay. So yeah, this was the first official permanent stream in the San Diego Metroplex. I don't know, but there'll be more to come. And thank you all for being here on the first one. And yeah, we'll See you all on Friday. Okay. Y'all have a good night. Later. And wait. There he goes. Oh, it says invalid username. Did I spell Wolf Conservation Center wrong? Let me just highlight that. See, dang it. This is it's supposed to be, oh, maybe it, oh, there we go. Okay. So now, okay. You don't put the @ I forgot because I've done one of these in forever. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody. Have a good day. Later. Bye.